What's going on, guys? In this Albania travel guide, we'll talk about everything from currency, travel hacks, and crazy ass driving. So I just got back from Albania today, so I want to talk a little bit about this past, present, and practical travel tips that you absolutely must know before ever stepping into Albania. So a little overview about Albania. It's currently about 2.4 million population. Its capital is Tirana, however you want to pronounce it, and it's on the Adriatic coast. Beautiful Adriatic coast. It's in the Balkan region. The Balkan area is one of the Balkan countries, and in Albania you're gonna find some of the most crystal clear waters. I mean crystal clear, and very impressive. Me being from the Caribbean originally, I come from the country with the best beaches in the world. I'm just being biased, but as far as Europe, man, this is some of the clearest water and the absolutely beautiful coastal sceneries that I've seen in all of Europe. So let's get into a little bit about its past. So it became independent in 1913 in the communist era. I mean, it was proper communist. I mean, I'm talking about lockdown, super lockdown. I mean, it was away from the world. I mean, the king or the whatever, the head out there, the leader, he was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. So he built all these bunkers. He kind of like prepared the world. First, he shut the Albania completely away from the world. He did not want any contact from any other countries, anything to do with the world. So he kind of locked them in. And I remember going to this tour and just hearing the history of the country. I was like, God damn. I mean, they didn't have TV. They weren't allowed TV. TV was legal. If they found anyone on TV that was getting shot or put in prison. They had one channel which was just broadcasting about the leader, just talking about his ass. And they had even some people, obviously as the years went on, some people found like satellites, create their own homemade satellites, and if they were found, they were killed, shot, or put in prison for life. So it was crazy. We ended up going to hiking up the hill, and we could find the actual radio point where they built this satellite to interfere all communication outside of Albania. So it was crazy. So anyway, they officially only opened up the country to tourists or anyone outside of Albania in 1991. So guys, it's not that, it's pretty recent if you think about it, as far as open to like tourism, right? Well, not even tourism, to people. Tourism didn't even really pick up until really recently, in a sense. So tourism really, I mean, there was always tourism after, in 2000 whatever, but it wasn't actual tourist destination. I remember living in Greece, and I was like, damn, Albania's right there, and they were like, don't go to Albania. Like, so many people just didn't want to go to Albania because of its past and the communist eras and stuff like that. And realistically, a lot of people did not know anything about Albania because it was so locked off from other countries and all the parts of the world. So it didn't start really picking up traction as far as tourism until 2018, and it was on a good incline until obviously COVID hit, and it slowed down completely, really hit the country hard, then picked back up. Then in 2023 it spiked back up, gone to like 10 million tourists coming in. So tourism picked up. Then it shot up to 2023, it shot up to 11.7. In 2024 it shot up to 11.7, and literally the trajectory is literally like this, honestly. And it's crazy because I was literally asked by about literally 7 to 8 different people in Albania, from like people in bars, restaurants, how did I hear about Albania? And when they asked me the question, they instantly answered the question by saying TikTok, right? And I was like, nah, I'm a world traveler. I've heard about Albania from many other sources, even when I lived in Greece, and I've met a couple of Albanians. So Albania's always been on the map, but obviously you hear so many different things. So I'm gonna do a lot of other videos just hitting about some of the stereotypes and how people look at Albania, right? One of the locals was telling me the prime minister, wherever he is, actually recently just did a broadcast saying Albania needs to get more prepared for tourism because tourism is going to shoot up by about 20 to 30%. So in 2024 is 11.7, let's say 12 million of tourists coming in. It's going to shoot up to 20 million in 2025, right? And by 2026, 2027 is going to shoot up to about 20 to 30 million. And think about it, July peak times, August is the peak times. It's actually very, very busy. It's very packed. Everything's packed. Roads are busy. Let's not talk about driving. Shit, that's another adventure. Hotels are not at capacity. I'm talking about if you are unlucky enough to book a hotel room that you don't like, you in the summer period you're gonna show up and you'll be like, I hate this room. The AC don't work. They're probably not gonna be able to change you into another room because they literally book out every entire room. And obviously it's Albania. It's not like any of the countries that are more prepared for tourism. These guys are kind of more newer to tourism, so they're trying to make as much money as they can. You can clearly see it. But I've never been to hotels where they don't like close up some rooms just in case of emergency or something like that. I mean, they book out every room. So if something wrong hopefully doesn't happen, but it goes wrong with your room, you're not gonna get moved to another room. I mean, they're packed out. The whole restaurants are packed, bars are packed. So it all depends on where you stay, areas you're staying, and you know, if you do apartments or hotels. But anyway, I'm gonna dive into some of those stuffs in this video, but I'm gonna go more in depth in another video. All right, let's talk about food, money, and budget tips. Firstly, the food is like a mesh. It's like a mesh of Mediterraneans, mainly Mediterranean, very meat heavy. So you vegetarians and vegans are going to struggle. And not very. I'm not salad. There are many meals that I came and there was no salad, and I'm just like, I'm talking about plates this big, and I'm like, how do they not have no salad? It's not like Greece where they give you like even on the house salad, or just a plate comes with a little bit of salad. Even England has a little bit of salad, and they're tight and cheap in London. A little bit of salad. They don't have no salad. You gotta order salad, and when salad comes, it's just as big as the actual main meal plate, and it's just like, dude, this is a salad. I say I want a small salad. They don't know what small means. And so the food's massive. I'm surprised there's not so much abuse. There's not. I didn't see a lot of fat people there. One thing is the women look good and they're thick. They eat a lot of cheese and a lot of meat, and they got figures. But I didn't see any obese people. I didn't see too many fat people. A lot of fat people I saw were foreigners. They were in the planes or coming in and out of the airport. The food consists of Mediterranean. It's very seafood heavy. So if you're a seafood lover, you're gonna love it here. You know, a lot of cheese, a lot of meat. Like I'm talking about fresh meat from the mountains. They got the goats, loads of goat. They got lamb, goat, beef, you know, chicken. But I'll say the lamb and beef is very high, and of seafood, lots of fresh seafood. Currency, guys, is lek, L-E-K. That's a Albanian money. And guys, yes, some places accept. Again, like I said, they are elevating and evolving in a lot of places accepting cash, Apple Pay and all that nonsense. But I would not rely on that, because there's going to be some places, some restaurants, some bars that do not accept that. So still, cash is king. Cash is always king. And one thing that baffled me a little bit, because they have EU flags everywhere. They are in Europe, but then they're not in the EU. But so they're trying to, you know, do all these EU principles and trying to advertise euros, but it's pretty off. So if you say something's 25 euros, if you do the trans conversion, it's not 25 euros, it's a little bit more. So don't pay in euros or anything like that. Pay in their money. So the best thing to do, as soon as you land in the country, do not exchange your money. Okay, before you come to the country, get cash out. Of course, bring your cards, but mainly rely on your cash. So bring cash, whether it's pounds or euros. Those are the two most powerful and best conversions. You can get good conversions with dollars as well, but pounds for sure and euros are the good ones. Bring cash. Go to reliable ones. Matter of fact, this one's a good one. Go to conversion. This is a very known one. They have loads of chains. And exchange your money, but do not do it in the airport. You're gonna have terrible exchange rates. Go into the cities. Like if you're flying to Tirana, go into Tirana, get wherever your hotel is, and walk around and exchange your money that way. Cash is king. It's better having cash. Of course, you can use some places accept cards, but some places don't. The exchange rate right now, currently, I'm gonna do it to pounds because I live in London. £1 is like 170 to 120 lek. Actually, it's probably down because the pounds is shit anyway. So let's say 115 to 117 lek, right? To a pound. So how I just literally relate things is, let's say I see something for 800, I just equivalently just say that's £8. If I see something for 600, I'll see that's £6. If I see something for 60,000, I just look at it as 60 pounds. You see what I'm saying? So I'll just go 100 to 1. That's how I relate. It's easier that way. It's obviously it's a little more cheaper than that, but it's easier to navigate, especially when you have loads of high bills in your wallet or whatever it is. Just navigate it that way. It's a lot easier. So let's say you see something's 1,000, that'll be 10 pounds, or 800, that'll be 8 pounds. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button too, hit that bell, share it to someone that wants to go to Albania or thinking about anywhere else in Europe, because I have tons of video. Hit that subscribe button. I've done some research and stuff like that, and it was saying like a basic drink, basically drinking food will cost you about £1, which would be 100 lek. Absolute bullshit. I didn't see any of that shit, right? Maybe a slice of pizza in Tirana it wasn't even hundreds, it'd be about 200. So those are old prices. Like I said, with more tourism comes higher prices, inflation, all that shit. 3-course meals, they're saying it's about 8 to 12, but honestly, I would say, in my opinion, what I've paid for things is between 15 to 20 pounds per person for a 3-course meal. Even a 2-course meal, guys. A 3-course will mean starter, boom, and dessert. Yeah, I would say 20 to 25 pounds, guys. And I'm gonna do another video specifically on all the places I eat and giving you exact prices. If you want to know some of the prices now, just comment in, let me know in the comments, and I'll give you some examples so you can get an idea. But don't worry, guys, I'm gonna have a video of just more specifically about food, drink, and just prices in generally, so you have all the figures at hand, so you know before going to Albania. So places like Sarandi and Vala, which is the most two popular places around the coastal part. You got Bucharest. Will run you between 30 pounds to like 100 pounds a night, depending on what you're doing, hotels, Airbnb. Obviously, I would suggest, guys, if you're on a longer period, to rent an apartment. Apartments are going to be cheaper, but again, it's Albania, so your apartment could be in a crazy looking neighborhood, or it could be in a building like it looks fucking insane, but look insane as in bad, look like a fucking ghetto, but when you go inside, it's actually brand new. So remember, tourism is up and coming, and when you do rent some of these places are actually beautiful inside. It's just outside fucking looks like shit, right? But it's up and coming. They're building, there's construction everywhere. There's literally new buildings coming up every 2 days. So see, it's construction is up and coming. So just don't pay that in mind. But again, hotels are gonna be way more expensive. I stayed in hotels because I was there for 8 days, and I just like, especially in countries I'm not really familiar with, I like hotels just in case of security, good food, good bed. I don't want no surprises. So with hotels, you're looking at within in the peak times in the summer, you're looking at 100 to 200 per night, depending on my bad. Again, I'm talking about 4 to 5 stars, right? 5-star, you can look at even up to 1,000, depending on what you're doing, right? But I'm talking about generally 100 to 200, 4 to 5, right? When you go from 3 stars down, you can find something from 30 pounds all the way up to 100. So exploring the coast, these are the 2 best regions by far. I'm talking about absolutely beautiful, especially if you want sandy beaches. I love sandy beaches. I don't like pebble beaches. It's Sarandi and Samil. I was pronouncing Kasamil, but apparently the K is silent. Fucking confusing. But Samil is actually the best part as far as the beaches. It's like it rolls up into an island, and if you look at the map, it's really it's right across Corfu in Greece. So it's some of the most beautiful waters, clearest waters, sand beaches. Not all the beaches are sand, some sand beaches, but beautiful beaches, clear water nevertheless. It's some of the best beaches in the whole Balkans. So as far as budget, now depending where you go, you go into beach club, you're gonna get beach chair, or I mean, you got 2 options. Again, beaches are free, right? So you can just go and pull up at the beach and just have your towel. It's only when you get cabanas, cocobanas, what the fuck you call it, and beach chairs or umbrellas where you have to pay for. Now, umbrella, most places ran between 1,500 to 2,000 lek, meaning 15 pounds to 20 pounds for the umbrella. Umbrella comes in 2, a pair, umbrella, and 2 chairs. And that rolls between 15. Most places I found was 15 or 1,500 lek, which is 15 pounds. Some places were 2,000 down, depending on how fancy the beach clubs you went to. But generally, 1,500 lek, and that was for the entire day. But again, it depends on the beach clubs. You can get some that's less known, and you get cheaper. You get about 10,000. You know what I mean? But in the summer period, you're not going to get less than 1,000. I'm sorry, guys. In the winter part, you can get cheap ones, but in the peak summer, you're not going to get less than 1,000 lek, which is £10. As far as the coastal route, you can do it two ways, right? You can either, which I wouldn't suggest this one, is go from Turan, Duras to Valor to Sarandi to Semil, right? Then do a hard ass loop all the way back to Tirana, and Tirana is about 4.5 hours drive. Again, if you want to do that, it's a beautiful drive, but I don't want to, especially when I'm on vacation, I don't want to spend 4 hours driving. So this is what I did instead: fly into Tirana, stay there at night because I got there in the evening, and the next day got up, got some coffee, got some food, then jumped in my car and drove to outside Valar to Dahami, right, which is about 2 hours. It was 2 hours, so it was halfway. So I went halfway, went to the beach club there and spent the entire day at the beach, had a lovely time, ate, swam, did all that shit. And in the evening, as the sun was coming down, then I drove another 2 hours to Sarandi, which is where I was based. So I chopped it into two. So I was doing Sarandi and Samil, but I was based myself in Sarandi. That's if you're gonna do this part, honestly, the best place to base yourself would be 100% is Sarandi. Sarandi has everything that you can imagine, from beaches, bars, clubs, restaurants, everything. So I would say base yourself there. Samil is beautiful, beach clubs, beaches and stuff like that, but it's not so much to do at night. Then once you do that, you go to another region, which is your Dahami and Valor region right there, and you could do that for a couple of days. Then you go down to Duras, and I'll say do Duras and Tirana at the end. That's what I would do that instead of driving from Tirana and go up the coast, then a long ass way on the way back. Just chop it up that way. Matter of fact, when I do it again, I'm gonna even do it a little bit better, and I'm gonna spend a little bit more time in Duras. Guys, if you're into your partying, if you're into your raving and shit like that, Duras has some of the best nightlife in all of Albania. So guys, if you plan your trip and it falls on the weekend, 2 places you want to be in Albania. Well, 3 places. Obviously Tirana, but I mean Tirana's cool, but I mean, come on man, you're in Albania, go get out of Tirana. 3 places you want to be, I'll say 3, but the 2 main places you want to be in Duras and Sarandi. But Duras, it'll be the #1 place. It's just got way more options, a lot more vibes, a lot more multicultural. Driving in Albania, a real life reality check. Guys, I have been blessed to go from one career to another career. My first career, I was playing professional basketball, and I lived all over the world. I've literally traveled and driven all over the world. I've driven in most places that I've been in, and honestly guys, my top 2 most insane places were like top 3 were Egypt, Greece, Thailand. I want to say Thailand, but I was more of a scooter, and not too bad on the scooter. Driving would be insane. Montenegro, but Montenegro is absolutely paradise compared to Albania. This 100%, guys, I'm telling you right now, is the worst place that I've driven in the entire world. I cannot make this up. This shit is ridiculous. It's so bad. I am confused, Albanians. Let me just break it down how bad driving is out here. I'll give you a little bit of story. So I'm on the highway and shit, right? Fine, people. I mean, guys, if you're not an expert driver, you're gonna struggle. One thing you need to be doing when you're driving, especially during the motorways, literally look in your mirrors consistently. Do not overtake anyone unless look in your mirrors, because I'm talking about, I've been speeding and I'm like, what I like to speed and go in the right lane just in case there's police and shit, so I want to slow down. But I was trying to overtake someone. I literally looked in the mirror and I said, I'm about to overtake someone. I'm about to overtake someone. I looked in the mirror again, and there's a motherfucker right on my ass. So he must be going 200 plus miles an hour, like boom, right? And the speed limit is 110. So you always gotta look in your mirrors. That's one. But the actual story I was gonna tell you is, So when you go to the motorway, especially when you're going from Toronto all the way to the coastal, you got to go through different parts, especially like in the mountains where the road is literally like this, like a damn snake road, right? I'm talking about these guys, men, women, all you are fucking morons. Not just men. Men particularly. They drive like absolute fucking morons, idiots, right? They are going around the road and overtaking while the road is doing this. And I'm talking about it's 2-lane road, meaning one way is traffic's going this way and traffic's going that way, right? And cars are overtaking. I'm talking about cars going this way, they going in that lane and speeding. In this lane, the opposite lane. And playing chicken with the cars coming. It's the craziest thing I've seen. And I just be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I can understand overtaking. I want to overtake. Sometimes I want to get somewhere quickly. But I'm not overtaking because I love my life. In windy roads out there where I can't see around the corner, it's like insane to me. And we're in the mountains, so in the cliffs. So if you hit a car, you're flipping over and going in the valley, right? So I'm a little confused, like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I see men, women. I see behind, look in the mirror. I say, is that a woman behind me? Yes, a woman. She's driving crazy, just like you guys. But this is when I knew, this country's fucked when it comes to driving. I see this motherfucker in a Mercedes truck, like on my ass, and I'm looking in the mirror. Like, man, what the fuck? What's wrong with this dude, right? And he's like, but I'm going at a decent speed, but I'm like this, going around like this. So I'm not trying to overtake no one. I'm like, man, this is the first time I'm driving this country. First of all, I gotta rent a car. I want to bring it back without crashing and shit. And I want to get home, back home safely. So I'm just doing my shit. He's on my ass. Beep, beep, beep. Like, if I brake, he's probably going to hit me. If I have to emergency brake, he's going to drive right into me. And guess what? This dumb fuck drives and overtakes me in a windy road. And I look in the car. And guess what? He's got his wife in the passenger seat and got 3 children in the back. I look in the car, I was like, man, what the fuck? So this guy is driving like a fucking moron. I'm talking about straight dumbass, right? With his family in the car. So I already know, if you drive like that with your family in the car, I already know. I can only imagine when he by himself in the car. So they obviously don't give a shit about their own lives, other people's lives, or their family's lives, because they drive absolutely fucking reckless, guys. So if you a beginner driver, you probably don't want to drive. You're probably just gonna spend just banking, save a lot of money, and just use taxis, guys, because the taxis are going to be driving like fucking idiots as well. Because this is the one country that I've been where I've seen the most accidents. I just drove past so many accidents. So what the fuck? I've seen about 7 accidents in 8 days, guys. 7 accidents in 8 days. One of them was a taxi driver, and the poor lady. And this was on my way actually back home. I was driving back to Toronto because my flight was the next day. And it was like about on a roundabout. So this stupid ass taxi driver must have driven into the back of someone, right? And the poor girl and her boyfriend, they're just standing on the side of the road with their suitcases because they're obviously on their way to the airport. But the fucking dumbass taxi driver had an accident. And I'm just looking at them like, yo, so you would have thought your taxi is going to get you to taxis. Ooh, they all drive like fucking morons. It's the craziest country. So I'm going to give you a little stat. You think I'm just making this up or I'm trying to be, you know what I mean, picky or whatever. No, it's a fucking fact that they're fucking morons when it comes to driving in Albania. It's the worst country to drive in. So you got to be careful. It was a miracle I didn't get in an accident. Thank God. So in 2022 alone, I can't even imagine 2025. There was 1,165 accidents, resulting in 1,599 injuries, right? Then in 2023, it jumped up to 1,730. Okay, so not too much of a jump, but still a jump, right? I can only imagine what it is in 2025. But here's a kicker. It ranks, this is worthy. We're going to exclude death rates because I don't want to talk about death, right? But it's ranked, Albania is ranked 6th highest in Europe for fatalities per million inhabitants. Car accidents, fatalities. 6th in Europe. This is actually surprising because I thought it would be. I wonder when this survey was done because the way they drive, man, I'm surprised this is not top 3. But top 6 still in Europe. There's a lot of countries in Europe. So just telling you, right? They drive like absolute fucking morons. So guys, just a pro tip, guys. If you're not an experienced driver, please opt for local drivers. Just get a taxi, hire a driver. just have to spend some money or buses. But just be safe, guys, because driving out there takes us very confident and very secure driver in a sense, because you have to really constantly use your peripheral visions, because out there they don't go with speed limits. They exceeding speed limits recklessly, ignore lanes, wild overtaking. Some of them don't even stop at lights. So roundabouts, roundabouts, you got the right away if you're going right. They don't give a fuck. I'm talking about bikes. I've seen bikes just ride right in front of me, and I'm like, yo, I'm in the car. They don't give a fuck. So I'm just saying, be careful, guys. So in conclusion, and some travel tips just before I go and end this video. Amazing country, very beautiful country, rich history, stunning beaches, crystal clear water. The food is hit and miss. I didn't dive into that much of food, but the food's kind of hit and miss for me, guys. Some place I went, it was amazing food. Some place again was right, but generally cheap, guys. When it comes to the way the state of the world is right now, many places that were considered cheap is pretty expensive now. So it is cheap-ish, but don't expect super cheap. It's not super cheap like what TikTok and all these other places are telling you. It's not that cheap in retrospect, especially if you're traveling in the summer. So final thoughts: Albania is absolutely must visit, guys. It's black friendly. There's a lot of black folks there, guys. So many black travelers, guys. It's black friendly. I get that a lot of questions in the previous stories that I've done, social media, and guys, it's safe. I didn't see any fights, anything. There's idiot drivers, no doubt, but the people are warm, welcoming, and honestly, that they're really inviting tourism in, because they want people to know and visit and learn about their beautiful country. So guys, if you're thinking about it, like I've been thinking about it for the last 2 years, just go, guys. Book it and go. You're not going to regret it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning, and I recommend, again, depends what you like, but me, I'm like more like being right the coast, being by the sea. It's absolutely a gem for that. And honestly, if you can go in the next year or two, do it, because in the next 3 to 4 years it's going to be packed, because Albania is amazing, but Albania is still up and coming, but the infrastructure does not support huge tourism. So in the next 2 years they're going to have loads of people going in, but they're not going to be able to support all those people. Bear that in mind, guys. So realistically, this is the time to go to Albania and enjoy it while you can. Let me know in the comments what you want to deep dive in, guys. There's so many topics I can really go in on. You can tell I was very passionate about the driving part, because I find that absolutely insane. But there's so many different places I can go. Let me know in the comments what you want the next videos to be, what you want me to focus on, because again, I want to do more of these videos, especially about Albania, because it's, even me doing research about coming to Albania, I didn't see a lot of vlogs, a lot of blogs about Albania that was giving me in-depth information. There's blogs, written up stuff on Google, but sometimes you want to see some video footage and stuff like that. You want to just see someone actually genuinely that has been there and talk about their experience, their real experience. So I wanted to bring these videos and give you some of my in-depth experience on the ground in Albania. And should you go, 100% go check out Albania. Beautiful, amazing people. And oh, I forgot to add, Albania is one of the countries in Europe that actually English is widely spoken, because if, again, the guys that are educated in school, they learn Albanian, and then they have the second language they learn is actually English. So then they have a choice to either learn French, French, Turkish, and there was another one. And again, majority of people learn Albanian and English. So a lot of people actually speak English. So that's a good thing. So like, let's say like in Montenegro, where I went to, outside of the tourist hubs, not a lot of people spoke English. Same thing with Turkey. Outside of Istanbul, a lot of people spoke English. So the great thing about Albania, a lot of people actually do speak English. So guys, from you guys around the world, Albania is a good shout. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got some value from the video, got some help from the video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if it's your first time. If not, hit that like button, hit that share button, you know what I mean? Just support the channel, guys, so I can bring you more of these videos and more tips and recommendations, so you get a heads up, man, true heads up about some of these countries before you actually visit these countries. So till next time, peace.